All right, so let's quickly discuss how to enter altered states of consciousness. I am Dayo Samuel, and this is my channel. So the idea of consciousness is dominated by electrical patterns occurring in your conscious, non-conscious mind, often referred to as brain waves. Now, brain waves change according to what you are doing or how you're feeling. So while many people look to their emotions to feel happier, science is beginning to show us that our subconscious mind, the non-logical part of our brains, play a key role in how happy we can be. And what I want to do is I'm going to walk you through the different states of consciousness as well as the different brain waves that contribute to different states of consciousness. So there's brain state, there's state of consciousness, brain state, and there's also brain wave. So let's get into that. So first, if we begin from the lowest level, which is delta. Now delta is what children between the ages of 0 to 2 years, that is where they frequently operate in, and at that point the inner world is very, very real. Now if you move a little further away from that, if you get a little higher from that, you get into theta. Now at theta stage, the inner world is real, but it's not as real as the delta state. What you get to find out is that at theta and at delta, these two states are the states where you are susceptible to suggestions and programming. So it's what I refer to as the more suggestible, programmable state. Now if you move a little further from there, you get to the midpoint, which is alpha. That is the mid state, which is alpha. And then at alpha, what is occurring is you are getting into a state of calm consciousness where your inner working and your awareness of self is beginning to increase. Now if you move further, you get to beta. Now at beta state, you are engaged in active or focused consciousness. And then when we move a little to the newest discovered brainwave that you can operate in, this is the state where it's referred to as peak performance. This is where you get into flow or hyper alert stage. And these different states, I'm going to explain them scientifically how they work. Because before I move forward, I need to also explain here that this delta and theta here, this delta and theta here, these are the two most powerful states that you can be in, particularly the two most powerful states that a child, a person growing up, this is the state that they can be in. If you can get yourself to enter into theta and delta states every single day and do a little of inner workings, that is where you are beginning to create change at a deep level. So let's look at them one after the other. Let's start with delta here, and delta is between 0.5 to 4 hertz. It is slow brain waves. It is generated in deepest meditation and dreamless sleep. It suspends external awareness. So when you are in a delta state, you are unaware of what's going on outside of yourself. It is referred as to the source of empathy. Healing and regeneration are stimulated in this state. Now it is also this state, this delta state, that deep restorative sleep results in healing. And in order to get into delta state, hypnotherapy is one of the ways that you can get into delta states. And as an hypnotherapist, I understand that when I am working with my clients, especially when I get them to enter into states, this is what I'm trying to do. Now when we get into theta, theta is the second state, you remember, right? Now for theta, we are getting in from 4 hertz to 8 hertz. And this is the state that often occurs when you are asleep or you are in deep meditation. Now you'll observe that delta is deepest meditation and dreamless sleep, while theta is sleep or deep meditation. Now theta is the gateway to learning, is the gateway to memory consolidation or reconsolidation, or even when you want to do memory imprint, theta is the level that you get to, and intuition. So what some Christians call leading of the spirit or the witness of the spirit, which scientists call intuition, this is at that level. So when you are being told that you should pay attention to your spirit, what they mean is go inside of yourself. And of course, if you notice here, it says our senses are withdrawn from the external world and focused within. So this is that level where you are rather not listening to other people and taking instructions for them. You are simply going inside to find answers for yourself. So your senses are withdrawn. You're not so focused on external world, but it's focused within you. Twilight state, which you experience as you wake up or as you drift to sleep. And sometimes when people are drowsy, sometimes when people are drunk, when they don't have full control of their conscious mind, their logical thinking, that's the state where people speak from. So sometimes when people say that they are hypnotized, what has happened is they have taken them to the theta state. They have altered their consciousness to enter into theta state, and at that point they can reveal secrets that they won't logically reveal. Now in theta, you are in a dream, vivid imagery is occurring, your intuition is so amped, and information, you're able to access information beyond your normal conscious awareness. Now it is also this theta state that we hold our fears, our troubled history, and nightmares. And again, to get into this state requiring external help, hypnotherapy is one way that I get my clients to enter into such states. Now moving on to the midpoint, which is alpha, and of course alpha starts from 8 hertz to 12 hertz, and alpha is dominant during quietly flowing thoughts or little thinking. So for example, you are listening to me right now, you may be doing a lot of thinking. I'm also going to explain the states that you are in right now as you're listening to me. So alpha state is that state you get into when you are daydreaming or you are in light meditative states. So it's like you just simply take your attention away from what's going on outside of you to inside of you briefly. Alpha state is that state where people get into that is referred to as the power of now, being here in the present. This is what it means to practice mindfulness. It is also referred to as the resting state of the brain. Alpha state aids mental coordination, calmness, alertness, mind-body integration, and learning. Moving forward from there, we move to beta state, and beta state is when it begins to rise a little higher. That is, it goes from 12 to 35 hertz. Now this is that state that dominates our waking state of consciousness. So for example, I'm awake right now, you are awake right now, you are currently in a beta state and experiencing life as outside of yourself. Now when attention is directed towards cognitive tasks and the outside world, this is where you are experiencing some fast mental activity. That is, you are beginning to utilize your brain. When people say use your head, think, what they are saying is get into a beta state where you are able to process things. It is also present when we are alert, when we are thinking, when we are attentive, when we are trying to problem solve. That is when we are trying to solve a particular problem using our heads, when you are making decisions, or when you are engaging in some focused mental activity like what is happening right now. Now gamma state, which is the newest, starts from 35 hertz to 42 hertz. It is the fastest and it is like the peak of performing. And of course, this is that state is related to simultaneous processing of information from different brain areas. Now in order to explain that, what that means is, let's say you have a spark of idea in a spur of the moment. At that moment when you have this spark of idea, what just happened is your brain simply switched into gamma states. So it just simply went into a state where all parts of the brain simply just functioned together to achieve a simple goal at that point. And at this gamma state, information passes rapidly and quietly in your brain. So there's a lot of spark of information, something like that. And this is when you are highly active, or when you are in states of universal love, altruism, or higher virtues. And this is that state that modulates perception and consciousness. So hopefully, I hope this video has been helpful to you. Now this is how to enter altered states of consciousness. I am Dayo Samuel, and I'll see you in the next video.